to an experimental seance with Spirit Seeker down in Bournemouth. We're here in the restaurant, in the basement restaurant, and we have a number of experimental stations. We have opportunity to see if we get any electronic voice phenomenon. We've got these infrared cameras in and around the restaurant. We have a Ouija board, and we have an observation group. We have a planche on a pen to encourage some automatic writing. And ultimately, we're exploring the art of the possible. We're encouraging all of our friends, our spirit friends, our loved ones, our guides, to come forward and to make themselves noticed, both on camera, to you watching online, and to everyone in the room we're watching on the screen. So, we've just had a lovely opening prayer. We're working in love and light. We're going to go round the stations, and people here will be moving between those stations, and then they will have the opportunity towards the end to get all of the mediums together, and we'll do a bit of an old-fashioned Victoria-style seance. So under the leadership of Mary Ward, over in the corner here, we have a Ouija board going now. We have a group of people over here. Mary is on mic as well. She's going to be telling us about anything that they hear and see. But we're encouraging our friends around the room, our observation group, to tell us about anything they see. Over here, we're under the leadership of Phil Shaw. We have some people looking to generate their energy and their footprint around this table. A very heavy, difficult table to move with human intelligence alone. We'll be inviting our spirit friends and family to come forward on this table and give that energy. There's some people watching and observing that. And if you see anything, over in the far corner, under the leadership of Julie Campbell, we have the spirit box and the Frank's box, encouraging them to grab anything from the airwaves that they might be able to use to communicate. And if they find that gap and that space, that opportunity in the white noise to communicate with us, then we...
Okay, so you want to just...
the cameras, they're also watching the room. They're looking for anything that can't be established as the supernormal to see what it could be. We're looking for evidence. And in order to find evidence of intelligent life, we have to rule out anything which could otherwise be described as simple things. Dust.
Okay, can you give
what we are expecting to see is an energy change. Now this room, so
could you give us an indication?
Hearing is that air conditioning.
You would like to
stop sweating, myself included. We'll look to get that air conditioning off. We'll have an opportunity to have a little bit more quiet in and around the table. And over here, under the leadership of Iain Mason, we have a very simple technical tool in the spirit world known as the biro, otherwise known as the biro. And the biro is inside a bit of wood at the moment, and we're using the energy and the intelligence of the people around this planche to see if we're going to draw anything, any pictures, any automatic writing or text. Equally here, we're looking for changes in temperature, changes in energy. So over with my observation group, has anyone noticed anything? Obviously the temperature has changed because the air conditioning unit is on, but anything about the room? I've switched the lights off physically. Anyone see any changes? Say that again. Orbs.
No. Okay.
No, right.
Is it your name? Does your name begin with an S?
The group. Okay. So we've got some things on the camera around the observation group. So looking up on the cameras there. Anyone feeling anything different? Anyone feeling anything with them? You know, listen to Leslie now. Leslie will be asking you questions and see if you're reporting any changes.
We're all very happy for you to be here. I can't sing, so I'm not going to start. But we're happy for you to be here. Thank you. Bless you. Come on, build that energy. Build that energy. We're sending lots and lots of love to you to give you lots and lots of energy so that you can work with us. Thank you. Thank you. Can you please tell us who you are or who you've come to work with? Which person in the group is it that you would like to speak to?
Okay. I'm just going to switch on the microphone over with Iain Mason now. I'm just going to go into your pocket, don't worry.
That's great. And
okay, so over on this table then, under the leadership of Iain Mason, we're just looking to see if the people around the table, if their energy, perhaps their higher self, is going to influence where the planche could go but it's starting to move. Is there any
Male, so you
intelligence
female.
behind there? What might we get from that? And in a minute or two, perhaps we'll change some of the group around that table. So we did have a bang there. That was a human being making a bang with a cup and saucer.
Was that a yes? Thank you. Okay, so
Let's talk about flowers.
are you somebody's mum?
Do you understand that? No,
Okay.
your mum.
Perhaps Mary and Phil both with mics on.
Okay. Where's the mother figure that was for him?
Okay, so you're not somebody's mum.
Just going to switch off your mic.
Are you a
Some
relation?
strange interference. Oh no, it was off.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
just
was off at the
somebody
moment.
that's come from the
Phil's
spirit
mic was
world
off.
to say hello?
Must be Mary's. But it could be the Frank's box. Could be a little bit of electronic voice phenomenon.
There's something.
Yes. Well, we're very, very grateful
Would you? Okay.
much for coming.
Let's just ask the- Do you want to acknowledge? What's your name, darling?
Do you have a message for somebody on the
Do you
table?
want to acknowledge the flowers
I'll turn it on.
for Debbie?
No.
I'll go over to the
Okay.
Ouija board.
Well, we are just very grateful that you've been here.
And is that
You let
important
somebody
for you
else's
right
loved one, and we say thank you very much
now? Is it
for
something?
listening.
Okay, I'm going to go over to the table with Mary Ward. We've got a lot of activity.
Okay.
A lot of activity on the board over here.
Do we have
We're
somebody
starting to
else
get
that's
some-
joining us,
some
please?
words. We've got some energy. You'll
Building up.
hear Mary Ward on microphone now, calling out.
Bless
anything
you.
that
This
she's
is a new
receiving
energy coming
with
forward.
the group.
Thank you. Can I
We have
ask,
no
please,
camera
is
directly
this
over
a
the Ouija
relative
board.
of somebody here?
For one reason or another, it's not performing. It looks like it's on, but not giving
Yes,
us anything.
thank
at the
you.
moment, folks. Watching at home.
Can you please is you would like to speak to? By all means, go through the letters.
Okay, you're going to look to change the people on the table with the planche in another minute or so. So
Name beginning with R.
okay, I'm looking for my next couple of volunteers to come onto this table. Just raise your hands up if you want to come on. So
Do we have a K
two
here?
there. Yep.
Or a J here?
Yeah.
No?
You turn the air conditioning off for me.
Who's-
It's the Frank's box, I think.
Yes, thank you. Bless you. Okay, can you
No, that's coming through the Frank's
done
box.
it?
Coming up soon.
Yeah. They've got communication with the Frank's box. So I'm going to take a microphone over there. Just going to take a microphone Phil for the moment. Okay. If people that haven't had the opportunity to work on the table want to get on there in a minute, we'll be looking to change that in the next minute or two. Thank you. Okay, I'm just taking a microphone over to Julie Caswell and the Xbox, where we have some communication. Julie, I'll just give you a mic. For Julie.
Okay, can you tell us what you would like to
Communicating
say
and the
to
group
her?
around the Frank's box, looking to communicate energy box into the white noise you can hear there. We've turned the air
You.
conditioning off
Okay.
in the restaurant.
So
you won't
she
hear that
needs
white
to
noise.
what? You.
Okay. Who's my first two volunteers? Yeah, if you can stand up. Okay, if you come round the back here, the ladies, we'll change on the table now. So if you just step behind the chairs. And I need two more volunteers.
Job.
Okay, Tina and you. If you stand behind these chairs and then swap with them in a moment. Ian's just finishing off. So on the planche table, we're going to swap the human beings
So
behind.
you're not
So
making
just step
sense
behind
to
the
us,
chairs.
please. Can
and
you?
join in with
I
that.
know it's really hard work and it takes a lot of energy, but please, can you help us a bit more? We know that you're trying to tell Janet that she needs to do something, but what is it she needs to do? HS. What is it you're trying to tell her? Does Janet have to do something?
Okay, so over on the planche table, we're just analysing some
so
of the
what does she
scribble
need to
there.
do?
Some of it looks more deliberate and more intelligent. There's just pure coincidence. And we'll be looking to
No.
swap the human beings on the table and see if a new energy around the planche will make a difference.
So please give them your voice, all right? Because
Good stuff, folks, and I'm sorry
So
to
Janet's
interrupt. I
not
just want to make sure we get some new people on before we move you around. So, well done, everybody. We've got 4 new people to come on to that.
an indication of when she might work again.
Depends what they mean by job, I suppose. Job. Yes.
So we've got Mary Ward there, encouraging to ask questions. If you stay with the observation group for the moment, and then you'll be moving as a whole group. Yes, go and sit back with Leslie's. There's 4 chairs over there now. Yeah, so join Leslie in the observation group. Yeah, go and sit, ladies. Yeah, they've come from the planche table. No, not yet. Well, I'll move the whole group. I just wanted to change the table. So what we're trying to do for folks listening in at home is to give everyone that wants to participate in the seance the opportunity to do so, see if their energy. Now, of course, a lot of these things we're encouraging our spirit friends, our helpers to come in and manipulate the tools we're working with. But if they were able to move... Okay, lovely.
Yes.
I said an orb just gone past me. We're encouraging our spirit friends and guides to come in with us. But of course, if these things could move on their own, then we wouldn't need human beings. We could just put these things in situ. So I'm very much a believer that the energy of the human being is required. And in the same way we use spiritual gifts for things like healing, we manipulate the energy, or we utilize or enable, like logistics, like human logistics. With these tools, we are using our human intelligence, our human energy, but we are surrendering ourselves to spirit. We're asking them to come forward to direct us, to lead us, to guide us, and then give evidence that it wasn't our conscious mind that has made these decisions. So over with Iain Mason table again, we've got 4 new people on the board. We've got Iain asking some leading questions to see if we can get some evidence from this board.
No.
Over with the observation group, we've got Leslie Knight going round and talking to the group and asking them about anything which they may or may not be able to see, both on the screens or in person. Okay, so you'll be able to hear in the background, which looks like a broken radio, under the guidance and leadership of Julie Caswell. This is our spirit box and our Frank's box. And what Julie is doing, she's asking the right questions to understand the intelligence behind the Frank's box, behind the communicator, so that it's not just random, it's not just pulling frequencies off a broken radio, it's the white noise, the gap between the white noise, and that's what you're picking up. Okay, we're approaching the end of our first group session. Okay, I'm glad that this will make sense. So folks, in a minute, this entire observation group will be moving over towards... There's only enough people, enough space for 6 people around the table. Let Leslie take one of those seats, and then 5 of you, every couple of minutes, we can change those people. Some of you can observe too.
No.
Yeah, you can stay here. Yeah, absolutely. You'll be right there, Leslie.
And I think
Okay, so I think some of you are saying about seeing some orbs across the room. And Mary, we'll just be finishing over on this board in the next few seconds. We're able to say goodbye, and then you can go with the whole group over to Phil's table. Okay, so Phil and the group here have sat here very patiently, diligently building up the energy. They're going to be going over to the Frank's box session with Julie in a minute, and Phil, you can go over to Julie's table as well and see if you can do some perhaps mediumship with the Frank's box, like what Julie's doing with the communication. And what we're here, folks, is then Phil working with his mediumship skills and gifts over the Frank's box, trying to understand the intelligence behind the communicator. So we've had the camera on this table, the camera's on here right now. Wonder if you can see anything different in changes, temperatures, anything around the table.
do you know
I'm just going to walk
in the
in
world
front of
of
the table
spirit?
now. Which had an
No.
orb
Well,
just
I
in
know
front of us.
Tom in the world
Maybe
of
it's an orb
spirit. He's my
following me
dad.
or watching me.
So maybe it's my dad
We've
that's
got
saying
the
to
group
you.
here. Wouldn't it be
You
great
know.
if we could see that deliberate again? If that was
He would
intelligence
know.
of life,
I know
that
nothing.
produced
I
that orb. It
knew
looked like
nothing
something there
about what's.
just
All
between
I
the
know is
people
what I've
sitting
given
at the
you.
table.
Absolutely,
And
let's
that's-
go.
Sorry. So I'll take this with me, yeah? I presume. Okay. So we're
An
coming.
orb with our observation group. Okay. Thank you, folks, for working on the table. You're now going to go to the...
Take this table, because I think they're going to give up now. I love
Okay,
table
so
tripping.
Julie's
It's
group
my
will be
thing, but
noisy with
these
the
tables are
Frank's
very,
box.
very heavy. They're very,
we're
very
gonna-
heavy. Yeah.
Julie, if I could ask you to switch...
Thank you. Thank you very much. Fetch the chairs round. Oh. Well, we'll get as many as we can. Sit in the middle somewhere. Yeah, yeah. Cheers.
For folks back at home, we're just resetting stations, so just give us a moment.
You've got to come forward, guys. Right, so I love this. I mean, you can put one finger on, you know, but this is quite a heavy table, so you can put all your fingers.
Yeah.
But very. So,
Jan, how many inputs have you got at the moment?
just, yeah. However you feel comfortable. Okay, so we just put all our fingers on, and we'll just ask for somebody to
Okay.
come, and we understand
After you've
that
finished
this
here,
is
if you
really,
finish in the
really
next
hard
few
because
seconds,
the
you can
table
go and
is
observe the
very,
Ouija
very
board.
heavy.
So folks, just grab a chair
Please,
over here.
can you give us an
Yep,
indication
just grab
from
a
Spirit
seat here.
if you're with us? Please, can you just vibrate the table and make it move?
Yeah, grab a seat, folks,
Okay.
and I'll come and explain what we're doing
Thank
over
you.
here.
Okay, so I do feel that there's
All right.
somebody. Keep asking in your mind.
Maybe it's Tom.
Yeah, Dad, if you. Oh, bless you. So, but do you have somebody with you for somebody else on the table? Or are you just going to show us the demonstration? Oh, bless you. I know it's really, really hard, and I do thank you for coming. I do feel it's my dad still with us, and I do feel that he's come just to give you the experience of feeling the vibrations. When I do this at home, I have a very small. Yep. Yep.
So I'll explain now. Okay, folks, so I'm back here with Iain Mason, and we've got a new group of people. Okay, so I'm back here with Iain Mason, and here on the table, what we have here, we have a group over here, folks. Hiya, you're all observing. We've got some optical cameras here, looking at things in the dark. That's presenting onto the screen in front of you. So what I'm looking for you over here is to be looking at the screens, calling out anything to me or someone else that you can see, but just quietly amongst yourself. Think about the different things you're perhaps seeing or hearing, but in particular this group, focus on this group as well. See if there are things you can see on the screen you can't see with your physical eyes around the table. And where Iain Mason is now, I'll encourage you in a moment, probably, what time is it now? Okay, 23. So the next 4 or 5 minutes, 4 of you will swap onto the table from this group. Put your fingers on a pointer, a bit like a Ouija board, but it's got a biro in it. And you can make drawing or scribble. So yeah, really just sit here, see what you can see, both on the screen and with your eyes. I'm going to allow Iain to crack on over here. Okay, so over in the corner with the Ouija board table, under the leadership of Leslie Knight, we have big group. Okay. Active activity. Wow. Okay, so we've got some energy build up between a big table over here. We've got a rocking table with the energy of the people. As I said, this is a big, heavy table, folks. Even with deliberate human intelligence, takes a lot to go. But they've just been working together as a group on the Ouija board. They've built up that energy. They've gone onto the table. You could say it's been charged up by Phil Shaw and others. Let's go and have a closer look at this group. So, folks, you've got some nice energy building up. It's a big old heavy table. Okay. And what would be nice, folks, of course, if we saw it doing something other than rocking, you know, encourage the spirit energy to see if it could come a different way, or if it could perhaps turn or pivot, or even raise. Wouldn't it be wonderful to see it raise? That would save the restaurant staff a lot of trouble if the tables could sort themselves out for the morning. So we've got some lovely energy building up on the table there. And what Mary's doing as well, she's working with others, she's asking them what they think, what they feel. You can actually see from this angle that some people don't even have their actual hands on the table, they're just above the table. So folks, any difference in temperature? Can anyone feel any warmer or colder? Warm?
Really warm.
And is the heat that you can feel, is that around all of you, around a particular part of your body? Chest. Okay, all over. Okay, so we're starting to get, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, we're starting to get a slight change in direction and angle with the table. And for those of you that have got your own hips and able, perhaps you're able to even stand and see if you can give a little bit more space and see if the table is able to turn in any direction. The two ladies that are closest to me, there's actually a camera right behind you, so if we can create a little bit of a natural gap, and I've removed your chairs before you go to sit back down. That bit better. So we can start to see the table starting to turn a little bit there now. So this will square on, folks, this table. Okay. Okay, so by way of a little bit of an experiment, I'm just going to ask, can you come out of the group for a minute? And maybe come over to one side. I'm going to move this table.
Yeah.
Okay, just so the camera can see what we're doing. I'll move that the way.
Yeah.
So we've removed an extra person from the table, but you can see that actually that's not slowed down at all. And if you look at that big, heavy stand right at the bottom of that table there, it's starting to rock on its own. And you can see that people have just got their fingertips on the top of the table. And what you've got is you've got medium Mary Ward. Okay, so we come over towards me. We've got Mary Ward asking questions, and she's using her mediumship gifts and her mediumship skills to understand the intelligence behind the communicator. Now, I've just brought someone off the table. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, as we're watching this camera on this screen over here, you can see there, you were just standing there in that gap at the moment about the stand. How would you describe the table before it moved?
Literally, my tips were there.
Yeah.
Okay, just the
So
tips.
just the fingertips.
And then it started off slowly, and then just really went for it. What you're seeing now.
Yeah.
Just really went for it.
So did you just felt the table literally beneath your
Absolutely.
fingertips
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
to move?
It's amazing.
Okay, that's great. Well, you come round to the back here with me, and you can see what they're doing from there as well. So we're going to go and get a slightly different picture of the table. We've got a few people of us at the back watching what the table's doing, and again, you can see at the bottom of the table that big square table where it has started to move. And what Medium Mary is doing with that table, she's communicating with the energy, with the personality. They're building up that energy. They're using the energy of the human beings around the table to communicate. Now, you can imagine, folks, years ago, how long it would have taken to get a simple message out of the table to find out who the communicator is. This is where you see the advantage of those spiritual gifts and that mediumship. For those that aren't on the table right now, if you want to have a go in a minute, just let Mary know and say you're ready to have a go at the table. You'll be able to have a go on the table too. So some lovely stuff happening with the table. Now, with my observation group, if you're watching on the screen about the table, anyone want to call out anything they can see on the screen? Or sorry? Harking. Okay, so we've got people in our observation group. That's okay. Watching what's going on. And yeah. Okay. Just going to move this chair out of the way, folks. Just watch your feet. As I said, folks, it's a very heavy table, so just keep an eye on your own feet. And can we try and leave a little gap, so get a little bit closer here, just to leave the gap for the camera, just so I want people at home to see, that we're not doing anything other than provide the energy of that table. Yeah. So we've got the table effectively going from left to right. There's a bit of a turn, and what you do have actually is a speed change now on the table, but would be great if the people communicating with us on the table, could we change? Could we see a change in direction? Is the table able to come to a stop, change in that direction? Could we see it going backwards? as opposed to left and right. Sort of encouraging our spirit's energy. It's working with that. So can anyone feel any change? No. The lady that's just joined. Okay. Go on, ask. Can I ask you to come around the back? Can I ask you to come around the other side for me, just so we can get a better view of the camera? If you come around the back, I'm going to try and get some different people on the table, if that's okay. Just as I walk with you, what did you feel the energy changes? Did you feel anything physically with the table?
Vibration.
Feel like the vibrations.
And
Okay.
then it was a full swing movement, and
Lovely.
then a change of direction.
And you could feel it changing beneath your fingertips.
Change it. Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Thank you. Come back round here, join the group, and I'm going to get other people in, if that's okay, just to give everyone a bit of time. Okay, Iain, we're going to change the people on this table with you now on the planche. So if I can, who wants to go on the table with Iain Mason? You three? Okay. One of you as well. Do you want to go on the table in a minute? You two are happy where you are observing? Yep. Okay. You're my eyes and ears. You call something, you see something like you just saw over there, let me know. Okay. Yeah. So just step behind the ladies in the chairs and swap over on this table in a moment. So we've still got the table moving an awful lot. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay. So we've got the table sort of slowing down but being a bit more dynamic in the movement. Now I'm looking at this and I'm also looking at the camera. I can just see fingertips on top of the table. But with that energy now, can we see the table rise? That's a question I have for Spirit. Can you use your collective energy? And it would be wonderful, wouldn't it now, with all this collective energy, can we see the table rise? We know it can move it, so let's encourage now, Spirit. Let's ask them to rise. Everyone collectively thinking about that table moving up slowly and controlled. It'd be really good to see that table come up. And again, all I can see there is fingertips on top of the table, folks. We're just doing a change of hands and personnel over the Ouija board. Okay, so we just had a huge orb on the night camera right across the table. So yeah, keep it up, keep talking to them, folks. Encourage that table to move. Huge orb there, lovely across the table. Let's encourage that spirit energy. Yeah, you're going to swap with the ladies on the table. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'd be really interested to people that are relying just on the cameras and my commentary. What can they see? What can they see around the table that's moving, or the energy behind the sort of planche and the table going there? Okay, ladies, have you both had a go? Have you had a go? Yeah, you have. Okay. Just moving the chair from behind you, Mary, so in case you try to sit down. Can you squeeze round a little bit more? All come round. Try and leave one side. Okay, I'm actually going to join the table for a little while, folks. Okay, I'm going to. I want to see the table stop, and I want to see the table rise. Come on, Spirit, use that energy now. Now you use that energy. Vibration on the legs. Let's see if we can get the table moving up. We've just got our fingertips very lightly. We're not putting any pressure down on the table. Okay, so we've got orbs all around us and all behind us now. So just very, very light. We don't want to put any pressure pushing the table down. We're just above. We're giving our energy. We're sacrificing our energy. And we're working with our spirit and guides across the table. Yes, you can. You'll be coming onto this table, though. So you're all in front of the camera at the moment. So actually, can you stay that side of the camera? You've got another 2 or 3 minutes and we're going to move you on. Okay. Let's have that table up. Let's have that table up again. I can actually feel almost like a vibration. Anyone else feel a vibration or a tingle? Okay, so it feels like it's almost vibrating on the footprint of the table itself. Let's see if we can have it up. Last minute, Spirit, before we're moving the table and the groups around, it'd be great if we could see you move the table up. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Folks, you're all going to be going over to the Frank's box now. Mary, do you want to stay on this station? And you can everyone else can go and join Julie over there. Those that are on the Ouija board, you can come and join Mary with this table. Okay, so we're just going to move around, and this gets very, very noisy. I'm going to turn off my mic for a minute. We move people around. Now, folks, I'm just switching my mic back on. I'm talking to two of the staff that are involved in the restaurant. Know how heavy these tables are. And we were saying there were no grips on the table. This was just fingertips on top of the table. It was the energy that was in there. So, what did you think of that experience?
It was amazing.
Yeah, amazing experience. Over to electronic voice phenomenon now. So you go and join Julie Caswell.
Okay. We really want to go to...
Oh, you haven't done the Ouija board? Okay, you go over to the Ouija board then. Okay, so we've got some orbs around here, Mason. If you're on Frank's box, come and join the observation group. Okay, so I'm over with the tipping table, and folks, you've got orbs and energy all around you already, so continue with that. Dave, just to let you know, there's a camera there, so just stay out that way. We're going to try and make sure we can always see the table, just show that anything that's produced is yeah, that's fine, that's great. Okay, we've also got some communication over here with the Ouija board and Leslie Knight, asking some questions, getting the communicate to verify who they are and spell out those words. Over on the planche, Iain Mason has started with a new group now. I think you just saw some orbs around table and the fingertips. And for everyone over here that's observing, we're looking for you to use your eyes, things you can see with your eyes, but we're also looking you to look at the screen. And on the screen, you're seeing the infrared cameras there, which have a much bigger spectrum than our own human eyes. Did you see the orb that just went above the tipping table? Yeah, so, you know, call those things out. Mary in particular, there's a lot of energy and table around her and that tipping table, so we'll look to continue to do that. And also on the planche table, if you suddenly see something on the screen and think, well, that wasn't there, then do call that out as well. And then after a minute or two, people that want to get on the table with Iain, then just go and stand behind someone and say you want to have a go. Wow, so we've got some brilliant energy right now with the planche. And for folks in the observation group, can you see how much the planche is really spinning around? We've got a real, almost mechanical noise now with the planche. It's spinning round. We get lots of energy there. People got mediumship, picking up their own names. They're aware of loved ones, perhaps around them. So you've got the camera looking in at that one, folks. You can see again fingertips. Some just with one hand. Yeah, all with one hand. Their fingertips in the energy. We've got the planche, the wooden cursor navigating around there, really at quite a fast speed. What I can certainly feel, big energy uplift in the room. It's certainly warmer. Now that could be because we've switched off the air conditioning. I'm an overweight bloke and I'm walking around. It could also be because the energy is changing, and as I walk between the tables you can physically feel that. At our observation group you're seeing things on both camera and there, and you've got Phil Shaw with you as your leader. You know, ask him any questions if there's something you want to see, and perhaps as a medium he might be picking up on things, or communicators at different tables. So over on the Ouija board we've got Reverend Leslie Morton leading our group here. We've got another 4 people on the table. We've got someone holding their... Yeah, we've got no camera on the Ouija board at the moment, folks. It's giving us some technical issues. If we do have any AV engineers in the spirit world that can fix the camera at your end, we would appreciate it looking at that Ouija board. We're getting some nice evidence there, we're getting some words, again under that leadership of Leslie. And folks, after a couple of minutes, try and swap different people on the table, work with Leslie. So, right, so as an experiment, folks, I'm just going to introduce a little teddy for the table as well. This teddy changes when you physically touch it, as you can see, and there's but you're getting so many orbs and changes, they'd just be interested to see if that is picked up by the teddy bear as well. So folks, what I've just done there, you'll see on the camera, I've put a little teddy bear on the tipping table, and it lights up red and green, which is an obvious change, but with no physical hands on the bear. Okay, so over on the tipping table, the teddy bear has already changed hands. So on the right-hand side, it's green, and you can see there's no physical interaction with the teddy bear at the moment. So already we've got some energy changes there. Over on the planche, we've got the planche. It's slowed down. It's still making more noise than it has been doing. We've got some energy that is moving around on the paper. You can see on that table where they are trying to get that intelligence and that energy to communicate. So folks that are listening, and we're probably coming towards the last 5 minutes of this station and this group work before I bring all of the mediums together, just to finish with a bit of mediumship and old-fashioned sounds. I'm going to go in and check in with the group at the back. Very noisy. I'm going to try and what's going on. Voice for... I'm going to shut up to the box and see what comes up. Okay, the Frank's box.
We asked for it to go from green to red.
Great. We're just around the tipping table. That are just joined at the end, could I ask you just to come out to the sides a bit, because there's a camera behind you, and what I want to do is I want to show people at home that we're not interfering with the bear and the table. If you can't see very well, make sure you're changing on the table as well, so you've got an opportunity to come onto the table. And if you check behind you, you can see us on the camera, so you'll know at the moment that's good, that gives it a good view. I want to know that no one's touching the bottom. Always good to prove what we're doing. So over on the tipping table, what we just had there was a change in light. There was an ask of spirit to change the colour from red to green, and we had that evidence.
Watch out on the floor there, 'cause I've got those cat balls.
Okay. Okay. So over in the observation group, the observation group got a panoramic view of all the different bits and pieces that are going on. They're watching the planche. What we do have as well is some cat balls which can light up. We're encouraging spirit to perhaps show us something different now. I'm standing right in front of everyone that can't see. I'm going to sit down for a moment because I'm a good door blocker, not so much a good window. So we've got the cameras in the planche table, the observation group, panoramic view over here of what's going on. Out. Everyone wanting to get evidence and communication. So I'm chatting with the observation group now, and what they were picking up on is that physically it looked as almost as if a woman's face was appearing next to medium Iain Mason. So we've got this on the optical cameras as well. I'm really interested, people at home that are watching this, can anyone see anything on the cameras which would look to resemble an intelligence representing a human being, a face, a lady's face? Just going over to the tipping table. We've been working with the board. Marion, can I just ask you to move in a little bit, just so that people, I'm blocking it now, but just so they can see the camera. So I know it's very noisy now, folks. Okay, folks, still tuned in and watching us. Well, we've got some orbs flying across the camera by the tipping table. Again, lots of energy. So, Mary, again, you've got loads of orbs, lots of energy crossing over. We've got a group on the planche again with the biro for the next couple of minutes. New group, new energy. We've got some great energy with the planche again. We've got big circles going round. Over here in my observation group, anything that anyone can see or hear or smell, feel any differences? Any changes? Let me ask the people. So, Iain, can I ask you just step back a little bit so the people can watch the screen? Can I ask the same with you? Just Towards this pillar would be fine, just because other people are watching the screen. That's good. So those watching the screen can see, and obviously those of you at home as well, call out anything. We've got huge patterns now with the planche, big obvious circles there again. And folks, this isn't people moving this. This planche is a bit of wood on wheels, and it's the energy that's created there within. We're starting to see those changes. We've got big circles. It reminds me very much of a child's game we had as a kid, when you could do all the different patterns. But spirit energy, their opportunity to communicate, it's more automatic, it's more automated. Getting some great stuff now on the planche. Big circles. Looks like someone's communicating with Jim. We've got two mediums, working mediums, on the table working on the planche. Lots of raw emotion and some lovely energy with the planche. And spirit there giving us some lovely evidence. We get some new people on the table for the last couple of minutes. And it looks like some really great emotional evidence there, some direct communication with one of the congregation, Jim, and we had some obvious things there. Lots of emotions, but very happy. And you can probably pick up the noise. Yeah, Jim's is happy with Sandra, giving him the evidence of the writing on the planche. I know it's very noisy for everyone listening at home as well. The room itself reminds me of my kid's 6-year-old's birthday party, but it's excitement and there's some great energy. So we get some new people on the table for the last couple of minutes, and then we'll be looking to change things over. Okay, so last few moments of the group stations, folks. New people on the Ouija board, new people on the planche with Iain Mason, and we've got a new group of people over with Mary. We've got the teddy bear on the table, we've got the cat balls down on the floor with the observation group. Spock is again good interrogation with noise, and you're listening for the gaps in between that. So Julie's asked a question: who else is there? We're waiting for confirmation. So Julie said there were some good responses. I'm going to drop in a bit. They know that we're coming towards an end. Yeah. So on the planche, under the leadership of Iain Mason, we have Sally, Phil Shaw, Marion and Ian. working on the board at the moment. And again, folks, on the camera you can see that this is, this is a piece of wood, sits on the table. It's all about the energy and the intelligence that comes afterwards. So we're coming up to almost an hour. We said that the seance would last for about an hour and 15 minutes, folks. And as we bring all the group work together, there'll be a little bit of noise as I assemble the group, but we're going to finish with a little bit of some of the traditional mediumship skills. So I can see quite a few orbs flying around the room, particularly around where the tipping table experiment was. Interesting if you can see that back at home too and watching that on the camera. For those of you in the observation area, I don't know if you can see on the cameras the orbs flying between the tipping table across the board, almost like a little snowstorm a minute ago. Show that us again, okay? We just had something come quite close to the camera then. Continue to show us, Spirit. Can you see them? It's almost people in the observation group. You see that? Those orbs. Yeah, fascinating. So we've got some orbs around this general area, folks, right where I am standing now. That's me waving. We've got Mary Ward and others on the table giving their energy. And all around we've got what looks like something deliberate, something we can see on the cameras. Now, in the back flicking, that's electronics. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the small orbs of energy. Yeah, so towards the left-hand side of the table, yeah, so we've now got a mist and an orb on this left-hand side. So let's think about that, folks, and if we've got this mist, let's all concentrate on that and ask to create more. We want to see more of this mist. We want to see more evidence, please. We've got vibrating of the table now. If you watch on the camera, you see the bottom of the stand there, the vibrating of the table. Yeah, so I'm just over with Leslie Knight. She's just giving me a bit of a debrief with the Ouija board. We've got a lady here called Rose from Turkey. We've had a man come through on the Ouija board, but sadly the camera's not working here. But she's had some good evidence. Rose, you had a message on the table?
Yes, I did, yeah. She asked me to look after my mum.
Okay, so some evidence from family, people claiming to be family asking to look after your mum.
Yeah, all the Turkish names.
And they spelt out the Turkish names for you, in correct spellings? Your husband's name as well? Okay. Brilliant. So some nice evidence for you of someone's life after life, their personality coming through, verifying who they are, and giving you those names. Oh, that's lovely. So some really good evidence here over on the Ouija board. Fantastic. We're going to go and grab a seat near the observation area again, folks, and we're just going to finish off. But brilliant. Well done, folks. Great job. Great energy. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just bringing all the group work to a closure now. We're bringing the group back together. I'm going to group together all of the mediums as well. Okay, folks, we're just bringing us the group work to a closure now. Next couple of minutes, we're going to be doing a final activity as a group. So what we're doing, folks, is we're going to be bringing all the mediums together. We'll be sat here in front of the old plant shade table, and I'll be encouraging the mediums to all work together. Mary, do you want to grab a seat next to Phil? Yeah, lovely. For those that have just finished the group work, do you want to come and grab a seat on the other side of the restaurant facing the screen? Okay, welcome back to everyone as a group. I'm going to just stand in front of this camera for a moment to introduce folks back at home what it is we're doing. Actually, I'll go and stand in front of this one. That's a bit easier. There we go. Okay, so folks, welcome back. I know that not everyone got to do a bit of everything, but you all got to see something. And I think from walking around the room, everyone saw something. They saw some evidence. We had evidence of something other than human intelligence. And when I mean human intelligence, I mean that human being. And the difference between a human being and a corpse is that personality. And it's that evidence of that personality that we're encouraging Spirit to come forward with. Now, in the final part of the evening, I've invited all the mediums to come and join me in the chairs at the front. And what we're going to do is that energy in the room has built up really, really quite lovely. So we've got the mediums. I'm going to work with them as well. And what we're going to be encouraging the mediums to do is to use all of their gifts, all of their abilities, to give us some more evidence. Now, we started a little bit late. We should have finished about now. It is coming up to 20 past 11. If you want to go to bed or you've had enough, you're welcome to go, folks. What I would say is we're probably going to go on for about another 10, 15 minutes, and we're just going to see, by way of experiment, what else we could get. bringing all of that energy together, all of the tools. And I plant that seed that imagine if we didn't have the mediums, if we didn't have the mediumship, although we got some brilliant evidence, how long would it take to get the messages we got in the ballroom and the ocean suite earlier on? So the medium, the human being, the evolved human being, the intelligence there is a big part of working with those tools. So mediums are going to sit there, and I'm going to encourage them to just call out and shout. But those watching in the room, tell me if you can see any differences, if you can feel any differences. On the cameras here, you've got around the mediums. You've also got things within the room that are still going. So if you call out orbs, traditionally with mediumship, it's about evidence of the communicator that you, as a member of the congregation, sitter, can verify. But actually, we change the house rules a little, and we're encouraging any well-minded, well-behaved spirit to come forward, tell us who they are, and give us a better performance. It's like a spiritualist version of X Factor and talent show. We'll be encouraging spirit to come forward and show us something on camera. So do tell me if you see things, hear things, and mediums, you know, just shout out if you've suddenly got a link, if you've got a communicator, if you've got something that you want to share with the rest of the group, then please do. I'm going to sit next to Iain. Hopefully I'm not in the way, but I can then be a little bit closer. Yeah, good. So, yeah, over to you, medium. So has anyone got a link at the moment or a communicator they want to share? I've got a communicator. Okay, Mary, you come in then first of all.
I've got a child here because they're making me swing my legs, and I know that I would have sat on a swing. So this child, I feel, would have passed to the world of spirit when they were 6 or 7, not very old. She loved the swing, loved the swing. She has long blonde hair with a little wave to it. She has lovely blue eyes, and I do feel that she's connected to somebody in this room. I've got to say that she is quite cheeky, and she makes me feel as though she would have had an illness that would have taken her. It would have taken a while for her to pass, but she was happy.
So Mary, I'm just going to interrupt. There's some brilliant evidence there. Does this child know someone in the room, or have they just popped in to say hello?
I feel that I know somebody, or I'm connected to somebody.
Okay, so anyone in the room who heard the evidence there Mary's given of a young child loved to play in their swings, and the other evidence she was giving?
She's making me move my legs.
Okay, so the banging we can hear, folks. That's Mary's feet. She's feeling inspired to do that. And as a clairvoyant, as a clairaudient, as a clairsentient, all the different ways that the body can be influenced. Mary, I think you're saying you're feeling inspired almost, as if you're on the swing,
I'm
you're
on the
playing.
swing, and I'm making myself go higher and higher, definitely, because she's making me feel as though I'm enjoying the freedom of being on that swing, and she's enjoying the wind in her hair. I do feel that she had an illness. Come on, what was it? Tell me what it
Child
was.
with an illness. And obviously with a collective consciousness opportunity and the different mediums here, any mediums want to add any additional context? Are you with this communicator too?
Can I join you, Mary?
Yes, please do, Iain.
Okay, so straight away, the girl that I've got, funny enough, I've got a girl that joins that feels like it's Mary's energy, and the way that she is she's very showy and very kind of life and soul of the party, and I've just got this really big singing sensation. I'm drawn. There's a lady over there with glasses on her head, and she's taken me straight over there. So I don't know whether I'm with you or there is somebody round there that would understand the girl that Mary and I are linking with that connect there. So can I just hear your voice, my darling? Hi. So do you understand the evidence that Mary gave about? Okay. Is there anybody around you that understands this? Because she's turning my head, and I'm around you over there. So this lovely little girl would connect with somebody that's over there.
I actually wonder, Iain, if you could be with me. I'm very aware of a child guide I have, and you keep looking over there, but you're looking also right at me and past me. Marigold. Okay, Marigold's the name of my child communicator
Okay.
in spirit. Very playful. Okay, so we'll ask Marigold to stop interfering with Mary's feet because it's making a lot of noise. But folks, there was a particular song. So both of you, Mary and Iain, were mentioning music and a song. There was a nursery rhyme that she was particularly fond of. It is Ring a Ring of Roses. Okay, yeah. So that's great evidence for me. This is a communicator that actually came to my father before I was born and has been with the family for a long time. Not very well known. So that's great evidence.
She says she shouts at you to get your attention, like she can block everybody else off.
Yeah, and she's been with us tonight. She loves this sort of stuff. Now, Marigold, we know how much you like to have fun. So in front of the cameras now, you've got the mediums. Can you show yourself, darling, on the cameras? We would love to see that. Phil and Leslie, let me know if you pick up anything about Marigold, about an era.
I'm just picking up that Marigold has brought this little girl in that Mary first communicated with.
Okay.
I feel there's two of them here. And I feel that this little girl that first appeared she's showing me building blocks, little bricks that she was fascinated with and building with. And she's trying to link to a lady here who is building new foundations in her life for a new start, a new beginning. And I feel I'm going further back in the
Lovely. So we've got Marigold, we've got a collection of children in spirit, birds of a feather flock together. Folks, like attracts like. Marigold, I know you can be very mischievous as well, so we would love to see you on camera. If you're able to work with Leslie and any other mediums, Marigold, we would like to encourage that too. But let's try and see you on the camera, Marigold. Is the teddy bear still over there by the table? Yeah, could you perhaps bring the teddy bear over, and we'll sit the teddy bear in front too. Okay, and where's the cat balls gone? Maybe we get them. So I'm going to put teddy bear, folks, just in front of mediums here, and it's currently showing left paw red. It'd be great, Marigold, if you could change colour. So perhaps as a group, collectively, let's all encourage Marigold to try and change teddy bear from red to green. Let's see some evidence. We've got the cat balls in front as well. And let's all think about Marigold. She's brought some other spirit with children with her. Let's see if we can get that change. I've actually moved to a position I can't see it change now at all. But let's look. And let's encourage her. In fact, okay, she's influencing me now. She would all like us to sing her favourite nursery rhyme, which was Ring a Ring of Roses. So everyone happy to do that by way of experiment? Okay. So let's just try and build up that energy. And as we're doing that, let's think about that love and that light. And let's think about the teddy bear. Let's encourage Marigold forward. Okay. Ring a ring of roses. It's gone green. The teddy bear's gone green already. A tissue, we all fall down. Okay, so we had almost an immediate change of the teddy bear there as we all started singing, folks. Did everyone see that? There's not anyone see anything else or hear anything else? Just call out from the audience if you saw anything. Otherwise, I'll go back to the medium, see if we've got any additional evidence that Marigold wants to share. Often when she plays with other children, they love this type of stuff, the opportunity to express their personality. We've all probably aware of children in the spirit world. They could be there. It's very difficult. We're not spiritualist DJs. We can't summon people, can we? But thinking about that positive energy, let's see if we can get her to change the bear. We've got the cat balls now in front of the teddy bear as well. And mediums, if you've got any more evidence you want to share, anything that you feel inspired to say, then please do.
I did have a little girl pulling on my top when I was standing over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leslie sang about her top being pulled by a little girl.
That was earlier, but I wasn't really linking in with that because we were watching. But somebody was pulling.
Tugging away.
It could have possibly been Marigold.
Tugging away.
Yeah.
I've also got a sense of a new energy that's coming to me.
A new energy coming in now as well.
And it's another smaller, younger girl, and she's just acknowledging a drowning. So there's a drowning that connects where this little girl passes.
Okay. Would this be someone in the room that would understand this spirit communicator, a drowning girl?
I want to go behind me somewhere.
Behind you.
Can I just say our last session on the spirit box, people said that they could hear a child speaking there. We couldn't understand what she was saying, but it sounded like a childlike voice, a girl.
Childlike voice. Okay, so we've had some evidence on the electronic voice phenomenon as well.
Does my lovely lady there,
Yeah,
you
I
understand there's a child and there's a drowning connection?
Yeah, that's correct. And yes, I can take that.
The lungs built up, would you understand that, filled up?
I would understand that, yeah.
Okay.
Because I've got pains in my lungs and my chest.
Yeah.
And do you understand she was either out on her own or doing something alone or went away?
There's a little bit of controversy around it. I'm not 100% sure exactly what
Okay,
happened.
because it's just a feeling like I'm out and alone. I'm out alone and I can't see anybody. I don't really know. I can't see. But there's a lot of open space around. So it's like I've got a lake in the middle of like a countryside setting or something like this.
I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I do know.
And those in the audience, just as Ian's given the message, there are orbs around the teddy bear at the moment. See if you can see anything with your physical eyes or on camera.
The mother died what?
My
Sorry.
mother died from drowning in a bath.
Where does the T name connect? Where's the T name connection?
Well, it's the wagon and
Orbs
horses.
flying across the audience now as well.
Pardon?
It's from a pub, so it's Tir and a Nog now.
What? Sorry.
It's called a Tir and a Nog.
What does that mean?
It's just the name of a place, a pub. And the mum used to drink in that place.
Okay.
But the mum passed away, and the daughter passed away very shortly after.
Does it make any sense to you that she says her mum was never going to make old bones?
Yeah, she was a bit crazy. She was a bit
That's
wild.
Because I definitely feel that. But I want to say, she's saying mum put herself in danger, and I don't want to scare you when I say that. But mum must have put herself in situations that weren't comfortable. And I know that there would be people that are around her that wouldn't either feel good for her or a good influence for her, or would take her. It would be like having a drink with a load of Hell's Angels, that kind of a feeling. Okay, because she's just. But mum doesn't know any better. And do you understand why she lets me know? Please, everybody, don't let me take centre stage.
No, that's all right.
But do you understand why mum had a traumatic childhood? She says.
I believe so. Yeah.
Because she's talking about mum never had a chance, and the father connection for mum would have been absent.
That's correct.
Okay. Some lovely, good mediumship skills, and see how all of the tools, all of the mediumship skills come together. Any final sort of closing words from the mediums? Leslie, you haven't had an opportunity to say anything yet? Well, Mary, just joining one more thing.
Close to me, but
What was you saying, Mary? Sorry?
Because I just got a really bad headache, but I knew it was connected with that lady. You suffered with the headaches yourself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Leslie, you said you had someone close to you. Anything else you wanted to add?
well, no, 'cause
Okay.
we're coming to an end, aren't we?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Actually, there was just one thing I wanted
Yeah,
to say.
please do,
I was
Phil.
thinking with a young man called Mark, or he would have been known officially as Marcus, but his friends would have known him as Mark. And I'm trying to connect to somebody here who has been developing their gift for drawing or painting and has put it to one side, but wishes to restart and gain more confidence in that particular skill. Someone.
Okay, so Phil as medium was talking about Mark or Marks. That was me making that banging noise. Would understand some of the artistic abilities, emerging sort of talents and skills. Anyone in the audience understand that? No, not tonight.
Okay.
We'll find you. Someone's at artist workshop with Sandra Stevenson probably later. Did a drawing today, no doubt. Folks, can't believe the time. It's already 11:30. I'm going to bring the formal evening to a bit of a close, because we all need to get some bed. If people want to have a chat about anything they've seen or they've heard tonight, then there'll be a few of us around to do that later. Richard may even be up to all sorts of mischief into the early hours. You never know. But I want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching online, as well as all of you fantastic people in the congregation. I mean, give yourselves a round of applause. It's absolutely brilliant. Really good energy. And this entire weekend, folks, we're working in Love and Light, and it's very well protected. It's the equivalent Fort Knox and the spirit world, the amount of guides and teams working today. But one of the things I would like to do is just for us to close as a group as well. Anyone that would do their own personal or private closure, then please do that too. But I just want to close in a little prayer as we bring the evening formally to an end. So please join me. Mother, Father God, thank you. Thank you for coming close. Thank you for bringing evidence of life after life. Thank you for sharing the knowledge of that life after death and the truths of spiritualism. We're grateful for our friends and family that have made an effort and an intention to communicate with us tonight. We welcome new friends. They no longer need to visit us as strangers. We ask that you give a blessing to all of the congregation in the restaurant basement this evening, all of the congregation online. Watch over them. May you continue to guide and advise the organisers and the volunteers of this weekend so they may make the right decisions to keep these weekends going forwards, upwards, and in light and in truth. Finally, watch over all these people. Send that healing where that healing is most needed. In love, in your name, amen. Thanks a lot, folks.